Welcome back to the Retronomipod, nostalgia and pop culture podcast where we discuss things from our past, present, and future. I am your hostess with the mostest, Toby, and across this internet, my beautiful brown-haired fudge round to my oatmeal cream pie, Rick. What's going on, buddy? How you doing? It was a roller coaster of what I don't know. My mind was going through a lot.
Yeah, you said that, and all of my mind was thinking, "Oh, we're on episode 40," and then you pop out a fudge round, and I'm like, "Wait, what? What are we talking about?"
Yeah. I mean, we're mostess's hostess. We're the hostess with the mostest.
I get it now. Hostess, like
Yeah.
the snack cake.
Yeah.
God,
Thanks. Yeah. Oh God.
I got you, brother. Don't worry, I'll get there. Macaroni.
Oh man, it feels like we haven't done this in a long time. It's hot outside.
Oh,
I'm drained. It hasn't been that long.
it hasn't been that long. It's been like a week.
Yeah,
or maybe a little more because we did it with Drew and we did it on a Sunday rather than a Monday.
yeah, and shout out to Drew, our first. Wait, dude, I swear I know how to do this. Our first ever second timer, 2-timer.
Yeah.
So shout out Drew. Appreciate you, bro.
Repeater. Repeater?
That sounds like a dirty word the way you said it. Let's move on.
Right? It does. Weird question of the week. If you were a Transformer, what vehicle would you turn into?
Ugh, I mean, you choose any vehicle.
Yeah,
like any vehicle. Yeah. Okay. I want to be like what are they? The SR-71 Blackbirds. Like, I want to be like could you imagine like the Transformer that just like snuck up on everyone? Like all of a sudden it was like nothing, stab! It's like a little assassin, you know? Like he's just cruising around the world just fucking shit up. But I'd want to be like, you've seen the new Battlestar Galactica?
I'm aware of it.
Oh, that's wild, actually. The fact that I've seen that and you haven't. In Battlestar Galactica, there's a Cylon ship, like Raider ship, that like kind of goes rogue, named Scar. He like goes around and fucks some shit up, like all by his lonesome. But I'd be like that. But I'd be a Transformer. Maybe with like a scratch on my side where they almost got me one time, you know? But like all the other times, I'm like invisible, and I'm a Blackbird. The spy ship thing. You know what I'm talking about. It looks like a black Dorito.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know what you're talking. Yeah. That's interesting. Like the weird thing about like Transformers is that like you could be like an aircraft, which is huge, but then you transform and you're like the size of like, Bumblebee. Like
I mean, it is odd. Yeah. So would that make me like? Well, no, because I'd probably just be the same size of all the other Transformers. I want to be like Megatron size.
You want to be Optimus size, not Bumblebee. Bumblebee's just this little guy.
Yeah, but Bumblebee does like dope ass shit. Like he's all agile and shit, and he's like swing. And all of a sudden he just like throws his little rocket arm in your back. And you're just like, damn, little motherfucker. Like, I don't like fighting small people. They know how to get inside the arms, you know? Like, my arms are too long. They're a detriment. Anything outside my circle, we're good, you know? Whereas, like, Bumblebee just slip all up in there. That's why I want to sneak up on his ass. Like, I'm sneak up on a yellow Camaro, you know? I'm just in the clouds, and all of a sudden, I'm like, stab! Right on the 405, you know, in the middle of California. It's like, no more Bumblebee. I'd be the most badass Transformer.
You went yellow Camaro for him, and I'm still like, no, he's a love bug.
Yeah, true. Yeah, true, I guess.
That's where my heart lies.
In my mind, all I see is the fucking Michael Bay movie. It's sad.
It's true. That first one is great.
Yeah.
You know, like it's, should have called it one and done, because
yeah, they really did like start at the top of Everest and just tumble down.
They were like, nowhere else to go. Whee!
Did they put John Cena in one of those movies?
No, that was the Bumblebee standalone. He was like a military guy.
Look, I was saying it sarcastically because Fast and Furious is about to come out, you know? But the fact that John Cena's in a Transformers movie, whether or not it's a standoff, standalone movie, it still fucking counts. And y'all put John Cena in a goddamn movie, and series over. Done. And bring it. Yeah, I don't know what you do. Do a Decepticons movie. That'd be cool.
Oh,
A Decepticons origin story. Megatron origin.
huh. Like a Joker, but with the Decepticons.
Exactly. Like a rated R, like Megatron as a child just getting his shit kicked in by his robot parents.
There's
And then,
always
like,
Starscream trying to steal his thunder.
It's like the neighbor kid down the street. He's just like, go kick rocks, kid. You know,
We can't do this. I will not go away.
Exactly.
So Blackbird,
Yeah, I think so. Or it'd
You're-
be something stupid like,
stealthy
I don't know.
jet.
like if I was a train, but I wasn't on train tracks and I was like, transform, you know, and now all of a sudden I'm a fucking train in the middle of, you know, the road just tearing up
Trying to go
concrete.
somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. You know, and it's just like, train was a bad choice.
That's what I imprinted on. Damn it.
Yeah, exactly. But if I was like a stealthy, like Blackbird, like Transformer assassin, that seems
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah. See, I was thinking either RV
super inconspicuous.
or a Vespa scooter.
It's funny because like Vespas don't like, and even like a motorcycle just doesn't, in my mind, come up in the vehicle category. It's like its own category. It's like motorbike, vehicle. You know, like a vehicle in my mind is
Is that the rule you have to stick by? You have to be able to be enclosed to be.
No,
able
I
to...
think Transformers can be whatever the fuck they want because, like, on Earth, yeah, we have cars and stuff. This motherfucker's on an international semi truck on a different planet where they don't know what international semi trucks are, you know? Like, what the fuck is Optimus Prime in his natural form?
That's fair.
Gotta be, right? Gotta be.
Yeah.
They didn't just like, oh shit, we found an Earth. Now we can transform into Earth things.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't think that's how it works, but I mean, I could be wrong. I've been wrong before.
Yeah. I don't know. Transformers is weird, man. You start digging into it and it gets real strange.
Yeah, and then there's animals and dinosaurs and shit.
Yeah.
Do you think a transformer? This should have been a weird question. Do you think a transformer like Optimus Prime carries like a Beast Wars style transformer pet? Like he walks out like Mike Tyson with his tiger, but it's why can I not remember any of these goddamn these characters? Anyway,
who knows?
I don't remember.
Well,
But you know what I'm saying.
They had like the little bots, like in the original. They had like the one that was Soundwave, who would turn into like a boombox,
Yeah,
and like that kind of stuff. So
which was
maybe
like the two little cars that was like their throw off in the movies was Jazz and. Dude, I'm having a real hard time right now. I just drank a bunch of G Fuel. We're gonna get it going.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't beats me. I'd be hard pressed to go any further than like your main ones.
I'm
know.
like I said, I'm at a loss for words. My Transformers knowledge is lacking, considering like I didn't get to watch like Transformers. I was just right out of that time where it's like I caught some of it, but it wasn't something I watched episode after episode. You know, to get like a legitimate storyline. I'm not proud to admit it is what
That's fine for what it was.
it's
For
Transformers.
what it was.
I get to grow up with Nickelodeon.
You can't go wrong with Transformers.
I do want to kind of touch on a couple of the E3 things. Most of all is the stuff like that we're kind of excited for, especially as a as a group being able to play stuff together. But the first one I want to tell you about, it's kind of funny because it's not really for me. It's like a Dark Soulsy game, like a Souls game. So it's tough, called Elden Ring. But what I found interesting about this game, because chances are I'm not going to play it, is the backstory's written by George R. R. Martin. Yeah. But it's kind of cool because like you allowed HBO writers to ruin the end of Game of Thrones, You haven't finished writing the last book to prove any of it wrong. And now you're doing a goddamn story for a video game. Like, get the fuck out of here, dude. Like, go watch football and chill out.
That's why it took him so long to why it's not out yet, because he's like, I got sidetracked by this video game. They threw money at me and I was like, okay.
It looks cool. I'm not gonna lie. It looks kind of cool or whatever. Again, I'm not gonna fuck.
It does look cool as hell.
I didn't write it down here, but damn it, Toy Soldiers, I think it's called. Mini big game. Looks awesome.
Looks good. Retromania looks fantastic.
Yeah, Retromania Wrestling. Dude, oh, that game, bro. It gives me butterflies. Like, I don't know what it is, but I watched it. The music, everything about that is but Day E3 recap YouTube video. Go check out the Retronomipod YouTube video.
Yes.
Only thing that got copyright claimed in the entire video, which fucked the monetization of the video. Not that we're getting monetization on the video yet. Was the Retromania Wrestling copyright claim immediately? Processing was over and it was like, a-ching, like claim 1. And I go click on it and boom, Retromania Wrestling. I was like, you sons of bitch.
Huh. Interesting. Is it somebody's job to watch uploaded videos and just be like, that's okay. All right, that's okay. Oh, that one, we got to ding it for that one.
What? I don't understand. Payday 3, I talked about that one, I think, last week too. Super stoked for Payday 3. Evil Dead's getting a game. Vampire Blood Hunt, which is the one that I was telling you about, which is Vampire Masquerade.
Yeah.
Look, I'll be honest, probably not gonna last all that long. But when it first comes out, I'm playing that game. Like when the lobbies are full, I'm 100% playing that game. It looks cool. It's like Vampire Battle Royale, and they actually have 2.
Do they?
Yeah, Blood Hunt and then something else. And one's the BR, I think, and one is maybe single player. Maybe, I don't know. All still off the Masquerade narrative. I could be wrong on that. Do not quote me.
That seems like a game that'll last through super diehards about vampire shit, and it'll have a longer tail, but it'd be a real niche group of people who are I'm all about the Vampire Masquerade, so I'm gonna keep this online thing alive for as long as we can. Come on, guys, let's go play.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, I don't know. We'll see about that one. I should have looked up the release date for that. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff coming out. We've got Mario Golf this week. Dark Alliance just came out. Halo this year. Battlefield this year. Back for Blood this year. The list goes on and on.
That Redfall game, that other vampire game,
a lot of vampire stuff this year.
So cool, because that one actually shows distinct there's kind of a telekinesis girl, and there's clearly more to it, whereas the Vampire Masquerade, they kind of allude to something like that without fully being haha. So I don't know, man. It's a very cool time to be a vampire.
Yeah, I guess so. Look, if there was one thing I took from E3 is there was a lot more vampire stuff. It chat got me in Twitch chat. I'm not gonna lie. A lot of vampire stuff for E3 this year. I kind of couldn't believe it. Redfall looks cool, but Redfall's that class based. It's definitely gonna be class based, but it looks great. I'm ready for new games. I'm ready for shooters. Bring me Battlefield. Bring me Call of Duty.
Yeah, and luckily we're getting that Battlefield, which looks wild as heck.
Battlefield looks crazy. It's not going to be something I talk about a whole lot because of what it is. It's first-person shooter multiplayer, but I have a hard on for them. There's no doubt.
Yeah, good showing this year for E3. All the way around, it's good time to be a gamer.
It was cool. A lot of stuff for Nintendo. There's only certain things I'm interested in for Nintendo. I already got a lot of those. But yeah, I don't know. Go check out the E3 recap on YouTube. I talk about a couple of them. Not a lot of them. Advance Wars. That one looks kind of tight too. The Advance Wars reboot.
or the Metal Slug tactical turn-based thing.
Yeah, I'm just not a
Which
big
is
turn-based tactical. Not a XCOM player. The only one that I've wanted to play lately is Into the Breach.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think so. I'm really interested in that one, but again, it's probably something I'm never gonna get to.
There's so
Ever.
much. There's
Yeah.
so much
There's
stuff.
a I'm
You
I
got
can't even get to the stuff that I have right now. Like
yeah.
I've got 6 games downloaded just on Game Pass. Haven't touched not one of them.
Dark
I keep
Alliance is
downloading.
like, hey, remember I came out like
Yeah,
2 days ago? Come on, guys.
the problem with Dark Alliance too is I've been like seeing reviews and stuff, and I know that game's just sitting in my library. Like, don't read the reviews, try for yourself. And I'm just like, oh,
Yeah,
I'd put myself through.
always. Always put yourself through it is what I say. You don't
Yeah,
know till you try it. And if it's free to you, what does it hurt?
yeah, but yeah, E3. Like I said, we got a little bit of a recap video up on. There's some stuff to be excited for this year. I'm excited, especially considering like last year was such a shit show with COVID and pandemic, and at least E3 they like got shit together even from
Yeah.
home this time, and it was super ridiculous.
Yeah, it really messed things up. But I watched a couple of movies I just wanted to throw out there. One was the latest Pixar movie since we just did our Pixar nostalgia called Luca, and it's a literal fish out of water story, based kind of in I don't know if it's Italy per se, but it's like if anything, a fictional Italy.
You have to pay for this one.
No, this one's straight
Okay.
up like Soul, where you just log in and you can watch it. Great coming of age story of a kid who's like, you know, kind of like, oh, I want to see what's on the surface, but I'm afraid, until he meets a guy who literally pulls him out of the water. And it's a great, God, this movie's
It's
so
a
good.
yeah, and Pixar, you said, right?
We've watched it twice already because it's just
No
that.
kidding. Is it like
Yeah,
on Moana level?
Moana is it's its own thing. Like
Damn. Okay, we can't even compare stuff to Moana.
Moana like was
I
one of those like
understand. That movie
yeah.
is a league of its own.
But if you're super into like the I don't know, it's great friendship story, you know, like these three kind of oddballs have to win this race for a prize because the two sea monsters who are the fish out of water want a Vespa out of all things. And this other gal that they meet just wants to like beat this guy who's like kind of an asshole. And that's her whole like thing is I just gotta stop this guy from winning. And that's it. And so they join together and stuff happens. But gosh, it's so well done. It's visually just fun. Check it out.
In
Great.
Pixar.
I mean,
Luca.
can't go wrong. Luca on Disney Plus. The next one is Monster Hunter. Came out like during the pandemic, or maybe it was earlier this year, which I guess is technically part of the pandemic because we're
Yeah.
still not out of it. But it stars Mila Jovovich, which you might know from like Resident Evil and Fifth Element. And then it's also got Tony Jaa, which you might recognize from like Ong Bak and The Protector. He's Muay Thai action guy. Based on the video game franchise of the same name. And it's not great at all.
Yeah, this one sucks because I remember when they casted Mila, I was just like, oh yeah, I'm good for this.
Yeah.
Perfect casting for this style game, you know, with all the little swoopties and the jumping and the stabbings, you know?
Yeah.
Perfect. Plus, she's still hot. She's like, I don't know, older now.
She's
in her-
older, but she still
Oh,
has
it's
it.
just-
Like,
yeah,
yeah.
smoke show. Yeah, heard it was not good.
It's
I
just
also heard rumors that that movie was made, but like pretty much made for the Chinese market.
that would make sense. Big
Yeah.
monsters, like they kept doing that thing where like they'll have a close up of the person, and then they'll like do that zoom out to show the scope of like they're so tiny people compared to this place, and it's like get over yourself. Like there was literally like a 15-minute span where they did that same shot. Let's do it again, and just in case you forgot, this world is yeah. It was just I wanted it to be good because fighting big kaiju monsters and there was just so much stuff that didn't make sense. And like usually I
Yeah.
just go in for like low expectations on everything. So that way I'm like, oh, this was actually pretty fun. And it's like where did she get the leather armor from that seemed custom made to her when she's like a military gal who gets transported to
The
this
fuck?
world? It's like what is going on? There's just so many like weird like things they did, and it's done by the guy who did the Resident Evil movies as well, which you would think he'd
Yeah,
have a
but
grip
then again,
on,
you
but
look at all
then
they into
again,
the Resident Evil
yeah,
movies, and
exactly.
yeah, their track record really fell off the end there, pretty
So
quick.
I can't recommend this one unless you want to go watch some big monsters, or
What's it
just
on
watch me look
Netflix?
over it. We watched this through Means.
Oh, okay. Oh, my Fire Stick.
Yeah, exactly. On
Is it out in theaters right now?
no, is it? When did we watch it on? We did watch it on some. I don't recall, but go check it out if you want to. I wouldn't waste your time personally because it's. I don't know. It ends and you're like, okay, and then they so clearly try to set it up for a sequel. You're like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, give us one movie that's contained that you're like, okay, cool, and if it's successful, do the sequel. That's
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. They just finished production on the Borderlands movie too.
see
So
now
we should get
that
that.
fingers crossed.
Yeah,
Fingers crossed.
they did. What is it? Kevin Hart's in it. Jack Black is Claptrap.
Yeah,
That
like
one looks pretty good.
the cast of that one looks great, but it's also one of those like video game based movies. Yeah. Don't have a great track record. There are pearls in it, but like for
Yeah.
the majority, it's
Don't you
like
sit here and talk shit about the Super Mario Brothers movie?
I love that movie. I'm not even talking about that one or Street Fighter. I'm talking about like I don't know, House of the Dead or Postal or some of these other ones that were like,
Those are the ones that you pull from?
hey, if we're gonna pull deep, I'm gonna pull
Jesus.
deeper. Get out of
God.
here, UA Bowl.
God damn. Okay. Let's get out of this before we get in
Yeah,
trouble.
too late. We've already had people. We're canceled out of that. So hey, we're all fans of Hellraiser here. That guy's a champ, right? Well, it looks like they're gonna do a reboot of it, and they're doing something a little interesting, which for this doesn't seem like such a what? Why would you do that? But they're gonna do a gender swap Pinhead, which doesn't seem like too bad considering that the Cenobites are
Look,
demons.
I mean, it's going to be hard for me to argue against this right now without sounding like an asshole. Why? Why? Just like, why? You know what? This is not, I have no faith in this being a good movie. And it has nothing to do with the fact that they want Pinhead to be a woman. It has everything to do with the fact that no one's asking for a fucking Hellraiser right now. And not only are you giving us one, but you're changing it. Which in my mind is just we're really not gonna have a good time with this. I think a female Pinhead would be crazy because I think that women can play insanely crazy characters.
Sure.
But it's been what? I can't even say it's been that long. It's probably only been like 20 years because I think we looked this up during the Halloween episodes last year.
For
But there's
Hellraiser?
like, yeah, Hellraiser movie that came out in 2001 or something.
I feel like it was more frequently than that. Let's see. Hellraiser Judgment came out in 2018.
2018?
So, yeah, 3 years ago.
Oh my God, 3
But
years
here's the
ago.
thing. They do need to do something to breathe life into this. Doug Bradley? Douglas? Okay, the dude who plays Pinhead, he's gotten up there in age where you do need to refresh this franchise and start new. And maybe going a female-led Cenobite might be the way to do it.
Yeah, I'm curious because are they doing a continuation of the story, or are they doing like a remake of the first one with like a gender swap thing, or like I don't, are they going like the Saw route where she was like an apprentice all these years and now she's taking over the reins of fucking shit up? But then again, like, how does she get the powers? How did like we've determined you can't fuck with Hellraiser.
Yeah, unless you're Pyramid Head, but that's a whole other,
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. God damn it. Shout out to Sarah.
Yeah, right. But it's an interesting, like, I want it to work because I do think that Hellraiser is a franchise that has kind of lost its way. I mean, it's been putting out just movie after movie, and after a while, you kind of have to go back to the drawing board.
What was the last Hellraiser movie you watched?
Seriously, like I think I watched Bloodlines, which was like
That's starting to get up there. Like,
mid 2000s or so, just out of
yeah,
curiosity. But that's not like, I think I'd watched one and two, took time off from the franchise and just be like, those are awesome. Oh, they put out a new one. Let me check this out and be like, ooh, like
yeah, that was a tough one. That's tough.
it.
I don't know. Look, come October when I'm looking through movies, I'm gonna be like, oh shit, the new Hellraiser. Like,
Yeah,
let's watch 30 minutes of this before I shit all over it.
you're like, I want to turn it off, but I want to see if it maybe ends well.
The
Like,
fact that it even got like news and stuff, like for like you literally put out a Hellraiser. I didn't hear about the Hellraiser movie in 2018. Why the fuck am I hearing about this one? Like, yeah, oh, they gender swapped. Cool. Now
that's
it's
why.
making, yeah, I know, but it's just like y'all have put out bad movies for the last 40 fucking years. Like, this one's not gonna make it better. I would have rather you have done a reboot, a complete remake of the first one.
I don't know, man. We'll
Yeah,
see.
I don't.
Will we
Anyway,
see it if it's available on one of the streaming platforms? Sure, but until then, fingers crossed, because I only want good things to happen. I only want good things out in the world. But unfortunately, with Hellraiser's track record, the odds are stacked against it severely. So we'll see. We'll see.
yeah, yeah, we will see on Rotten Tomatoes at 12%. Continue on.
So the original, whoa, what was that? The original company that put out Dungeons and Dragons, the son of Gary Gygax, is looks like he's going to be putting out a new. He has new stuff coming out from TSR.
This is cool because TSR is who originally put out D&D. So like my D&D, well, you guys can't see it on the video here, but I have an original 1980 TSR module.
Yeah,
That's the word you're looking for.
That's the word.
I have the B module from the original 1980 set, and it's put out by TSR. So it's cool that not only did they get his son, but they're putting it out through their original instead of Wizards of the Coast, which I'm sure they're gonna get their cut or whatever. But
yeah, I don't know how all that works because I think they're putting it out as TSR RPG, so that way they're not Dungeons and Dragons. It's like all these other companies that do, where it's like this will work with Dungeons and Dragons, but it's its own thing, so they don't necessarily have to give Wizard of the Coasts their own their cut of it. So the first one's going to be called Giant Lands, and I don't know. It was just an interesting thing to see that the son of Gary Gygax.
it's weird because like if Wizards isn't gonna get any cut of it, the Gygaxes, do they still own the word Dungeons and Dragons? Is that still their trademark?
No, I think that's what's owned under Wizard of the Coast.
Yeah, so they wouldn't be able to call it.
TSR is going to be I think that's what they're putting in TSR RPG.
Oh, they're not calling it Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
Okay, I see.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I mean, look, we're getting a lot of good tabletop stuff lately too, and pen and paper RPGs.
So much stuff out there. Don't go on to Kickstarter, else you'll just like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah, you fucked me.
Oh, that's cool.
Ouroboros, and then like everything. Kickstarter is the fucking worst. Get the fuck out of here. I'm trying to buy a house. We've talked about this.
Hey, here's another thing you want to do. So check that out. It's supposed to come out
that's cool.
later this year. So, right on.
I'm mad at it.
Never a bad thing. Did you ever watch the movie Kingpin?
Hell,
I mean, who didn't, right? Like, we're all fans of bowling. We're all fans of Bill Murray and
you
Woody
like bowling?
Harrelson. I love bowling.
Me too, dude.
Yeah.
Me too. Anyways, go ahead.
Coming soon, the Retronomipod Bowling League.
Only available on the Wii.
I like it.
Yes.
Well, the Farrelly brothers are going to be working, or they are working on doing a Kingpin sequel, which, considering that movie came out in like the mid 90s,
Oh, that's what I was gonna say, like 96. Yeah. Okay. I was gonna
we're
be close. Damn it.
almost 20 years later. Like, oh boy, is it something? I guess we are 15 years later. Do we need? No, it's more than that, isn't it? I don't know. Math's hard. Do we need? Do you think a sequel to that movie is worthwhile?
Yeah, no,
Or do you?
I don't, because I think the premise of the movie doesn't deserve. Oh, go ahead. Ask your other question.
Do you think it's gonna? I don't know. It's gonna fall in line with what you're about to say. Is basically. Yeah. Do you think it's going to be like Dumb and Dumber 2, where you're like, oh, they're making a sequel, and then you see it, and you're like, I wish they didn't make a sequel?
Yeah, it's one of those things where the story and the ending of the original Kingpin movie doesn't deserve one. Like that was cool. That was the story. Sweet. They did the thing. Yeah. We don't need to see the after of the thing unless he's like, I don't know, sucking dick on the corner and selling drugs because he fell from fame or something. I don't know. Also, Bill Murray and Woody Harrelson both kind of getting old as fuck.
Yeah.
And like, why? Are they just trying to like get their last bit of nut before they go away, Like
it's not like though. Like Woody Harrelson's doing freaking Venom movies. So like to do something like this, I mean, I'll still go see it, but it's like, like this is something you should have revisited back in like 99. Like
2001 maybe. But now again, we've talked about it in the past too. The whole like plan on our nostalgia shit is starting to get old.
Yeah, especially like something like this where it's like, how many people have seen this movie? Like I really want to know, like,
did they make a Big Lebowski too? Because that's what this would remind me of.
I think there was one that was based off of John Turturro's character. Unfortunately, I don't remember right now, but it was like a light sequel in like adjacent. But not
that's
direct.
like Adam Sandler coming out right now and being like, we're doing Billy Madison 2. It's in production, and it's like, please don't.
Just the college years.
just the college years. Him owning the fucking business,
Yeah.
I just don't need it. I don't need it.
What are you going to do? Because you're not going to get Randy Quaid back because he's, it just doesn't make sense. Like I want more comedy, but like, and I really like Kingpin, the original, but like, it just seems like you're squeezing an udder that's completely dry. I don't know. That fell apart quick. I'm sorry.
Yep. Agreed. You can, Just leave it alone. Just leave it alone. I don't know what else to say. Just leave it alone.
I want to keep touching it, but like we should probably move on. Here's some fun news. Beauty and the Beast, Disney Plus prequel series will finally provide answers about mysterious movie character. What do you think? Did you watch
the Emma Watson one?
No. Oh, I mean, it just says Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is this going to be like live action or is it going to be animated?
That's interesting. Let's see.
The network is officially greenlit in 8 episodes. Me and you just read it. A prequel to the 2017 live action movie the same day. So that was the one with Emma Watson, right?
Yeah. I liked it. I liked that one a lot.
I didn't see it. Fuck. Josh Gad.
It's going to follow Gaston and LeFou, who are,
I don't know. I don't imagine this can be horrible.
Right?
It's a side story I didn't think I didn't want, but I might have needed. I don't know.
It's
no one fucks like Gaston. No one cooks like Gaston. Like I want to say
he does everything tops, man. Even like sucking dick. I bet you he's just like,
oh yeah.
I don't know.
ASMR. We should move.
That was weird
already. Yeah, you got it.
I don't know. It's gonna be weird if they don't, because like if they don't have either Beauty or the Beast in it, like, do you think that would make a deal breaker for like a particular series that is like not following the characters that are in the
No,
title?
no, not necessarily. I mean, if you make the story good, I think the universe is something that we're falling into a lot lately. Like,
Uh-huh.
where it doesn't necessarily have to be about the main character. We're going to see this soon with the Craven story. You know, like it's something that's starting to happen where you're in the world. You know that in this world, what you know exists, whether it be Beauty and the Beast, where you know that these things exist, and you're curious if the show or the movie ever crosses paths with the universe that they're living in. I think it's a cool concept. And I think it could work as long as the story's good.
I mean, you could definitely have Belle in it since she does live
Even
in
if
the
you had her in
town.
passing.
Exactly.
Like if you every
oh
once in a while,
shit,
every 3 episodes, fucking Emma Watson walked from the inn to the fucking well and back, you know?
she's doing her morning routine of like singing about how life sucks. Can this be my provincial life? And Gaston just like, God, I want to fuck her so
Yeah.
bad. And poor Josh Gad, sorry, LeFou is just looking at Gaston like, God, I just want to fuck you so bad.
Bro, I'm watching this show, dude.
Yeah, like especially if they're gonna be
Yeah, we got 8 episodes of anticipation coming up. Ooh, that got me sweaty, bro. Goodness gracious.
I got the vapors. Uh, this next story was too silly not to share. So DC's doing a lot of things right now. They're working on their Flash movie. I'm pushing through this. So instead of like introducing new characters from their universe, you got like Blue Beetle and like some of these really cool characters that have yet to Lobo, like cool introductions for these characters. Instead, they're gonna make a DC Super Pets movie.
God damn it. DC, why?
Such a weird
they're like, fuck it, Batman. Do Batman again. No, let's do Batman again.
Yeah.
Oh, these aren't working? Fuck it. Super Pets. That's gotta work. Wait, like people love animals.
What did you just say?
What?
Super Pets?
They're like, fuck it, green light it. We got enough money.
It's super like
I'm gonna be honest, okay? Maybe Super Pets was super badass. I didn't watch Super Pets. Or not watch. Oh wait, was there a show called Super Pets?
I think all they did with like the Super Pets was like have them on every so often. Like there wasn't like a show specifically or
Dedicated.
Maybe there was.
I feel like there was.
Holy shit, there might have been. There might have been, man. But like the cast of this thing like is pretty crazy because like oh man, I'm trying to figure out who like this is not the article I thought it was, but from what I remember, they're going to have Kevin Hart in it. The Rock is going to be in it. Keanu Reeves is going to be playing in it. Like the cast for this thing is pretty crazy, considering that it's going to be like a what's that movie? Life of Pets.
Oh,
Secret
yeah.
Life of Pets, but like with DC superhero.
So
like
there
pets.
is a Super Pets show. Maria Bamford voices Robin. Diedrich Bader voices Ace the Bat Hound. Diedrich Bader too. He's
Oh yeah.
Okay, cool.
He's done Batman for Brave and the Bold.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
Drew Carey show.
Yeah, they had a show. I was gonna say, I swear I'd seen it.
Been on everything, but like Kevin Conroy's going to be back, who was the voice of Batman in the animated series. John Krasinski, Kate McKinnon, Jamila Jamil is going to be in it. Like the casting in this is too insane for it to be like, well, shit.
It just doesn't make sense.
It's like you've got all these like characters that you should be like working harder to produce. I don't want to say Marvel level movies, but like Marvel level movies, like that's what you want for people.
Dude,
to be
they're just
oh
like,
my God, these are great, but instead
they just don't have a lot coming out either. Like DC's lineup right now is, there's not much I'm excited for because real fast, Suicide Squad 2,
great, it's gonna be awesome
this year, August. The Batman, which is the one with Robert Pattinson.
Robert Pattinson.
March of next year. I don't know how excited I am for another Batman.
This one, dude, if you haven't seen the trailer,
it looks great. And Robert Pattinson, I hear, is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
May of next year, DC Super Pets. July of next year, Black Adam. Black Adam has The Rock in it, right?
It's The Rock, yeah. He's the protagonist to Shazam.
Oh, okay.
So eventually there'll be like a weird crossover movie where those two fight, but it'll be weird to watch The Rock fight Zach Levi because you're like, I think The Rock wins like no matter what you do,
100% of the time. The Flash next November, Aquaman 2 in December, Shazam 2, Fury of the Gods, June 2nd, 2023.
Wild.
Blue Beetle, Untitled Superman Project. Shit. Zatanna, yeah. I thought this was
Zatanna would be cool.
There's no release date, but this is scheduled to begin production in the fall of 2021, so maybe we can pencil in a 2023 release for Blue Beetle.
That's cool, man. It's like their Spider-Man, essentially.
Blue Beetle?
Yeah.
Zatanna picture looks badass.
Zatanna is really cool. She uses this she uses magic, but like the key to her magic is that she has to say it backwards. It's a really cool element of her ability. Like she's super powerful because of it, but she also has to have that vocal element. And there's been many storylines where she's had her throat fucking slit.
That's kind of wild.
Yeah,
it looks cool. They've got their director, but that's it. The New Gods, The Trench, Supergirl, and Green Lantern Corps.
Ooh, it's not bad.
I don't know. I'm not excited about any of them. Like,
one thing I'll give DC over DC Warner Brothers over Marvel is that they're animated. They're like comic book animated movies.
Amazing.
Anything Marvel's ever
amazing.
done.
I will 100% agree with you on that because that's 100% correct. 100% correct. Yeah, I don't know. I don't need the Super Pets movie.
You know who'll be seeing it though? I'll let you know if it's worthwhile.
I know.
So Metallica, their Black Album is turning 30 years old this year, which is what? We're old. So they're releasing a collection, a super pack, if you will.
Oh, okay.
Of updating the audio of the album, all this, but they're gonna have some 50 artists do covers of their favorite songs from Metallica, which is kind of awesome. We listened to the Miley Cyrus, Elton John one, and like on paper that sounds super like but like we listened to it and it wasn't half bad.
I love Miley's voice. Like, I'll be the first to admit, I think Miley Cyrus has an amazing voice. Like, especially once she gets away from like her pop tongue out shit.
Yes.
When she gets into that like bluesy rock, especially now that she's done all these drugs and smoked all these cigarettes, and she's got that raspy voice.
Yeah.
I love Miley's voice. And Elton John is fucking Elton John. He's also like 1,000. And the fact that some of these dudes can still fucking sing like this is absolutely insane. So, I don't know. This is cool. I think this is cool.
Fucking awesome.
Because they got Chris Stapleton, Volbeat, Darius Rucker, Corey Taylor, Alicia Cara. These are fucking awesome. Ghost, Flatbush Zombies. Portugal the Man. St. Vincent, dude. Yeah. This will be fucking cool. This will be cool.
Yeah. So they've got a limited edition deluxe box set that has a vinyl, a picture disc, 3 live LPs, 14 CDs, which is insane. 6 DVDs, 120-page hardcover book, 4 tour laminates, 3 lithos. Jesus, here we go. 3 guitar picks, Metallica lanyard, and folder with lyric, and a download car, plus more. So have at it if you need everything Metallica.
What's the price on that?
Oh man, let's Brace for impact. Let's see.
I'm gonna guess $230.
If it'll give it to us. Hang on. Did you just route me to the same? God damn, that's a lot of stuff. Okay, scrolling. Yes, I know it comes with a lot of stuff. Good Lord Almighty! I'm still just scrolling down. It's just that much stuff, and then you don't give me a fucking price. God damn it. You son of a.
Alright.
Let's see.
Okay, so the Metallica Blacklist album vinyl,
I clicked through the
160. The Blacklist CD set is 30. Metallica Blacklist album digital download 50. I can buy it on CD for 30, but I got to pay 50 if I want it digitally.
Or you could just wait until they put it up on Spotify.
Dude, some of these would be so cool, bro.
60. Yeah.
They have the Corey Taylor singing Holier Than Thou. Cage the Elephant doing The Unforgiven.
That'll be interesting.
Flatbush Zombies doing The Unforgiven.
It's wild, dude. There's so much stuff, like, to have that amount of artists, which makes sense because I mean they've been like heavy metal icons for ever, and it only makes sense that you'd have like everybody and their sister being like, oh, can we do a cover and just celebrate the fact that this album was like so huge back in 91?
Yeah,
like
just the album.
It changed so much for them and like the rock world in general. Like,
so it is kind of funny. It says there are 6 versions of Enter Sandman and 12 covers of Nothing Else Matters. That's 18 of your songs are 2 songs.
Yeah, well, Nothing Else Matters is a little slower, so people are going to treat it more like a ballad.
They had, Darius Rucker and Chris Stapleton both doing that song.
It's great.
Yeah.
I mean,
sign me up.
I like hearing covers and seeing what people do with it. You know.
Yeah, I'm good for this. For sure.
So you know the Karen stuff, right? You know the Karen, if you will, the person who's like, "Can I talk to your manager?"
Yeah.
Well, somebody got the fun idea to turn that concept of Karen into a horror movie.
Shit.
And this totally looks like a direct to video kind of horror movie.
Like a C style horror movie?
Oh, it just looks like, okay, so basically you're following this black couple who happen to be black. They move into the suburb. I know. Yeah, that's it. I'm done. See you later. Anyway. They just move into the suburbs and immediately they start getting lambasted by this Karen. And it's all the things you've seen on the internet with, like, she's videotaping them, she's putting up security. Like, it looks super like, God, I don't know if this should have been made into a movie, but it was. So if you like that.
I am kind of curious. I kind of want to watch it.
It's one of those like real, like, I want to watch it just to see how cringy it gets. But
yeah, exactly.
I don't want to ever admit to watching that movie.
Oh, we should really got to get our Discord linked. I was gonna say we could do a Discord watch party. Have a bunch of people get into Discord. We'll throw it up and do a big showing.
Yeah, that would be fun. We might have to do that. We'll figure it out.
The Karen movie. Is it just called the Karen movie?
It's just called Karen.
Oh, it's just called Karen. That's scary.
Karen. Yeah.
Like, that sounds like a
Yeah, go online and watch the YouTube video and just be blown away by how, like, because it's all like those videos you've seen of like Karen, like, I'm calling the cops on these people because we don't have those kind of people in our neighborhood. It's like, but I live here. This is my house.
Yeah, I bought the property, bitch. I don't see the problem.
Oh man, I get super like about it, but that's just my white guilt, I guess. I don't know. I'm gonna move on from this because I get some. Yeah, Heebie-jeebies. So a quick podcast shout out. This was one that I just discovered like I don't know last week or the week before, and it's a super quick like contained one. I think they have like 8 episodes or so, so not very many, and they're all like half-hour episodes. But it's called Bad Vibes, and it's like an anthology horror where they just tell you little horror stories that are a little creepy because it's done in the dynamic 360 sound. So if you're wearing headphones or whatever, it's super cool sounding. But it stars Justin McElroy as this character called Mr. Boogedy, and he's just like this spirit. It's
Huh.
really cool.
Have you listened to Radio Rental?
Uh-uh.
I think it's Radio Rental with Terry Carnation.
Uh-uh.
Another podcast shout out. He just did one. I think it's called Dark Air. Terry Carnation is Rainn Wilson, White Shroot.
Oh.
And it's a character that he plays, and he owns like a video store where he tells like creepy, amazing. Also check the. But anyways, continue. I didn't mean to.
I've got another podcast I gotta look, but no, that's basically it. It's just if you like cool, creepy, kind of like eerie stories that kind of stick with you a little bit. We're like, ooh, I really like that, but man, it's now I gotta look over my shoulder a little.
Yeah, like it's like some real shit.
Yeah,
Like,
it's pretty fun. But yeah, just
Bad Vibes podcast.
Bad Vibes. Check it out.
I love that it's just the Macroids. Anything that dude or any of their brothers do.
Yeah. And that's what drew me to it. They mentioned it once on their podcast. I was like, oh, what's this? Go check it out. Oh, wow. And it's like, since it's super short and each episode is super short too, it was like, I was able to get through it in a day, at work.
Huh.
Because.
Yeah, I'm going to have to check that out. I'm going to bring back a little segment called Kickstart This, which you added a Kickstarter this week that we're actually going to get to.
Yeah, I haven't. Yeah, this one. Right. Oh, yeah. Mystery jigsaw puzzle. You don't know what you're building until you like figure it out. Like,
wait,
so
what? There's not like a picture?
No.
You just build a puzzle?
It's a 1,000-piece jigsaw puzzle with a mysterious secret ending.
1,000-piece?
It's so much, especially if you don't know what you're building to.
How many puzzles have you completed in the last 10 years?
Me?
Yeah. The fact that you're thinking about it means you've done that many more times than I.
We used to do them a lot more once upon a time, but with Wii ones, it's hard to do. So
yeah, because fuck that table.
They'll be like, oh, I'll stick this in my mouth, and you're like, no, the corner piece.
Yeah, I have not. I'm not a puzzler. I don't do puzzles. I have a stepmother that has like a puzzle table. Like she fucks with puzzles heavy. Yeah, this is just frustrating. This is just frustrating.
Here's a descriptor for you. Introducing 3 original 1,000-piece jigsaw puzzles that blends elements from comics, Where's Waldo books, and mysteries to create the most exciting brain-teasing puzzling experience yet. It's a puzzle that feels more like a comic and plays like a game as you piece together the clues, secrets, and mini stories bit by bit until finally you uncover the secret ending.
This is kind of cool because they do show like there is an image on the box.
Oh, there is an image on the box.
Yeah, but the puzzle that you build is different. And so it is kind of cool because it's like telling like a little story where it's going to go from one image to the next. And you're kind of, I assume, putting it together in your head. Okay. Am I going to do it? No. Do I want to see it done? Yeah, kind of. It looks kind of cool. Like it looks cool.
Yeah, the art style is super clean and super like cartoony. So like, oh, that one's cool too. Sorry, they've got 3 different ones, and I'm just looking through them. I've only seen the first one, which was like this kind of cool cartoony kind of look, but the second one is Under the Sea, which looks exactly like you'd want it to look. Oh, that's really cool. And then the last one's called Snack Attack, which looks like a high school or something.
It looks cool though, because it does look cool. And for $20 or more, you get your choice of a puzzle.
Hey, $20.
Boom, $20. Shipping in October. For $50, you get all 3.
That's a steal, my dude.
Yeah, these are pretty good prices. What is this called?
This is called the
Odd Piece Jigsaw Puzzle.
Odd Pieces Jigsaw Puzzle.
Huh.
Yeah,
this is cool.
If I mean it's coming out before the holidays too, so if you have a puzzler in your family that digs these things, go on to Kickstarter, check it out. It's got 29 days left, so there's still plenty of time to go and pledge and do all that stuff, or back the project.
Yeah, because we fucked up a couple times on that. Left a Kickstarter on the show notes a little too long.
A little too long. We're like, well,
I had to delete it.
Yeah, that's the problem with the Kickstarter. You only get so long before they're like,
yeah, very
we're
true.
done, dude. We'd appreciate the shout out, but nope.
yeah, you can no longer get this, so they're bad, I think
that's on them for running a campaign that's within the guidelines of Kickstarter. I don't know, but yeah.
Well, moving along from that, how about we get into our nostalgia this week?
Let's do it.
You actually chose this one, so I will let you slide on into this, DM.
So this week, we're going to the super talented and like dude who doesn't know how to not have free time, Rob Zombie.
Odd choice. I'm not gonna lie. Like when you were like, I want to talk about Rob Zombie, I was just like, okay, but why?
This dude
also love the movies and the music.
Like and the music is where I started with him. Like I picked up Hellbilly Deluxe in high school.
Yep.
And it was so like, oh, I'm listening to something I shouldn't be. Felt like super like, oh, this isn't something my parents listened to. And that's why it was so, because like the artwork of it all and like the whole like zombie and the creepiness and like the fact it's metal and like all this other stuff was like super like, this is mine. So like that's why I gravitate to it, because it was like super like this. I got into this. I got the CD, and then I introduced it to a few friends in high school and stuff, and they were like, "This is cool," and we're like, "Yeah, it's cool."
Yeah, he has such a unique sound.
Yeah, like when you hear Rob Zombie, it's like, "Oh, that's Rob Zombie." Like you can't deny it. Like he is who he is, and just. And then you go back and you realize, oh, he's got a whole other career before even his solo stuff. You're like, this dude. So I do have a bit of his history. I can go through it piece by piece and we can kind of comment on it. Because it isn't, he's led a life, dude.
He really has. Yeah.
It's wild. Most of this was pulled off of Wikipedia, so it's not like this is stuff that I had a secret. No, it's just on Wikipedia. So this is a lot of regurgitation of that, but I kind of picked and choose, didn't go through and put everything down. But born Robert Bartley Cummings, January 12th, 1965 in Haverhill, Massachusetts. As most people might know, or maybe not, he's got a younger brother who's the lead singer of Powerman 5000, who goes by the name Spider One, which is kind of cool.
No shit.
Did you not know that?
I did not know that. And just a quick little thing, the first ever explicit CD I ever got was the Powerman 5000 debut album. Really? My brother bought it for me when I was like 8. My parents were pissed. But that's what it's like when worlds collide.
That album's fucking.
Oh, dude, just still good too. Still good. I did not know that. That's a cool fact.
What I love about these two is that the dichotomy between the two were like, one's like this horror guy, and then you've got his brother who's like a sci-fi guy, which is great because those are two like genre,
it's like almost steampunky and or Mad Maxy, some Tank Girl kind of vibes.
Yeah, and Powerman 5000 was part of my first concert that I went and saw. Powerman 5000 was one of the opening bands. So
yeah, that's cool.
It's fucking rad. Let's see. His parents worked in a carnival until a riot broke out. In an interview, Rob Zombies said, and I'll read this real quick. Everybody's pulling out guns, and you could hear guns going off. I remember this one guy we knew. He was telling us where to go, and some guy just ran up and hit him in the face with a hammer. just busted his face wide open. My parents packed up real quick and we took off.
At a fucking carnival?
Isn't that wild?
Parents were carnies? No wonder he's such a horror freak.
No wonder he's during college in New York, he was a production assistant on Pee-wee's Playhouse.
This was cool. I just read this too. That was cool.
Yeah. Let's see. His always fascinated with horror, and when he grew up, he basically wanted to be Alice Cooper, Steven Spielberg, Bela Lugosi, and Stan Lee, which he actually kind of pulls all of those off. Alice Cooper, he's a musician, he's a director for sure. He's never really starred in anything as himself, but he's done a lot of voiceover work.
Yeah,
and he's got a crap ton of comics too. So
he does like that Stephen King thing, you know, where like he's in the movie at some point, but it's like more of a passing character, you know. Like Stephen King always does that in his fucking movies too, where he'll just like show up as like the dude that hands you your car keys at the valet.
Don't go up to the house on the hill. You're like, what?
Yeah, like get the fuck away from.
Quit hugging up on me. Let's see. 1985, he started White Zombie, the band, named after the movie from 30s or so. Let's see. They made 4 studio albums: Soul Crusher, Make Them Die Slowly, La Sex. I can never say this one. La Sexoristo, Devil Music Volume 1, Astro Creep 2000, Songs of Love, Destruction, and Other Synthetic Delusions of the Electric Head. Those are the 4 albums that he produced with White Zombie, which every single one of those just crush it. Let's see. He directed the music video for More Human Than Human. That was kind of his first taste of directing it. And from there, he would go on to direct all their music videos, which only makes sense considering who he is. Like, you'll notice he's a super kind of control guy where like he'll ask for help when he needs it, but generally he's like involved with everything he does. 96, he legally changes his name to Rob Zombie.
In 96.
96, right? You would think that was just like, you know, he started a band called White Zombie and be like, oh, I'll just change my name. He's collaborated with Alice Cooper with his first kind of solo album, first solo song from White Zombie called Hands of Death, Burn, Baby Burn. And it got nominated for the Best Metal Performance, but lost out to Rage Against the Machine because that's where we were in 1996.
Yeah, that's cool. That almost seems too early for Rage, which is absolutely insane.
Dude, I saw this video lately on Facebook that showed like Rage back in 94. It was like one of their first shows. And like it's so wild, like seeing those guys playing, and they're playing like, you know, one of the hits, and it's like, holy crap, they had it figured out before. Who knows? But that's a conversation for another time. Let's see, September 98, White Zombie officially breaks up. And he basically just says sometimes a band just goes as far as they could go, and that's all you could do. So
makes sense.
Box set would be released later in 2008, featuring all their released material. Check that out because it's really good. Zombie's solo debut, Hellbilly Deluxe: 13 Tales of Cadaverous Cavorting Inside the Spook Show International, was released August 25th, 1998.
Damn.
Right in old Dick's wheelhouse of high school, like tomfoolery.
Oh, yeah, they did. Yeah, you want to talk about just a life-defining thing happening to you at that point.
That album cover, as it happened when I was younger, it was all about like artwork on it. And like that first one with it just being this, it's Rob Zombie, but like the portrait of it is done in just the style of what it is. And it's just so eye-catching. You're like, oh, I gotta check this out, man. And I was not disappointed, and haven't been disappointed yet.
Yeah, I went back, like oddly enough, in the middle of last year and went and listened to those. I guess it wasn't because he put out a second Hellbilly Deluxe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But yeah, like his first 2 albums, I went back and listened. I forget what the second. A Sinister Urge. I don't remember it being called that, but I just went on Spotify and started listening to the discography, and I got through the first 2 albums. Randomly, I don't know why. It was like I heard something on the radio. It was just like, I'm gonna go listen to all these albums again.
Yeah,
Still
and it's
great.
good.
They still
Throw
go
it on-
hard.
Yeah, just throw it on shuffle, and it's great. That album became basically Zombie's best-selling album through his whole career until currently, which is good or bad, whatever. Like, take it for what it is. He starts his own record label in '98 called Zombie A Go Go Records. They release some stuff for bands called like the Bombaros and the Ghastly Ones. And just release a bunch of other stuff through the record. I mean, when you have a record company, you're just like, hey, I like your sound. Let me produce your record.
Yeah, you're just putting your name on shit as people walk through your door,
And he released the original soundtrack of Frankenstein through his record, which was kind of cool because it just seems to work in his wheelhouse.
It is weird what he's like chosen to do through his life, like the stuff that he's attached his name to.
Yeah,
it really is like I'm just gonna do what I want.
Yeah, and in 1999, he actually composed the original score for Twisted Metal 3.
Fucking awesome. He's just like, I want to be a part of that. Let me be a part of that.
Yeah, and I think he actually had his own I think he had a car that you could unlock. Like that was like his. I think it was like the Dragula or whatever. That's good times, folks.
Yeah, that's and it's crazy because his car. Like he has a car.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
The man has an iconic car.
He I'll touch on it later. It's a story that we'll touch on. Kind of the whole reason why we're kind of talking about Rob Zombie. There was some news that came out that we'll get to toward the end, which I'll tie in. Let's see. He creates a haunted attraction for Universal Studios in '99, which basically kickstarts or reinvigorates the Halloween Horror Nights for them, and has now become like an event. Like if you live in California, and probably not, I'm sure people travel there just to be like, what's the new scary thing this year? Which is something I'd love to do, but can't make that trip.
Yeah, and fuck California.
Yeah.
No offense to California.
Absolutely not. Hey, more power to you where you
Don't come to Colorado. Tell your family not to either. Sorry, I just had to slip that one jab in.
No vacancies. So he starts working on House of a Thousand Corpses at this time, which is like we're only in '99 and he's working on this shit like crazy. So he begins filming May 2000. And it's supposed to come out the next year, but the studio saw basically the final cut of it was like, we're not putting this out. It's too violent.
There's no fucking way that we can make this a fucking movie. Like, we don't have a rating.
It's wild. It's like, you let him make his movie. Why don't you put it out?
Yeah, that makes no sense to me. But then you watch it and you're like, oh, it's still pretty fucked up.
Let's see. Super Beast gets nominated for Best Performance at 42nd Annual Grammy Awards, which is awesome. It contributes Scum of the Earth song to the Mission Impossible 2 soundtrack, which is interesting because he does a lot of this kind of stuff where he'll just do music for folks. He did a song for like Punisher Warzone. He's done songs for like, I think he did one for Daredevil too. Like it's super like random, but like the dude just keeps busy, and he, like you said, he just does shit that just, it sounds cool, let's do it. So let me put out another record called The Sinister Urge. Comes out in November 2001.
Yeah, he's just doing so much.
Yeah.
Like, you gotta take a breath, brother. God damn.
Yeah. Super just keeps going. 2002, Zombie announced engagement to Sherry Moon, he's been with since like the
2002.
Yeah,
but like, longer. They were married in 2002.
Yeah,
long time girlfriend at that point.
Yeah.
Also, beautiful, crazy as fuck. Like she's hard to find attractive after watching her in the movies, but at the same time, you're just like, is this making you sexier because I'm shitting my pants right now? Like, I'm so scared of you. And maybe I'm more scared of Otis, but I'm scared of her. Like, she's fucking wild. Like she seems like one of those girls that would go from like giving you a blowjob to fucking
Cut
cranking
your
your
dick
dick.
off. Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
I got
doing some,
balls. You want your balls back?
yeah.
Yes. Yeah, it's
And then she giggling.
yeah, and then like
It's like, oh
I
god.
like it, but I don't like.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and she was
Dude, I can
basically
only
like
imagine what their like at home relationships like. Like, I bet
super
they're like super chill, kick
super
it,
domestic.
but
Like
the bedroom shit is probably like some Tommy Lee Jones, Angelina Jolie shit, you know, like fucking biting each other on the neck until they bleed, screaming like wolves because they don't give a fuck and they're in like a $38 million home, you know?
they actually own land like in the middle of nowhere, and like they rescue animals. And
Of course they do.
like here's this metal dude who you think is like gonna be like, my life is dark, but like he's rescuing animals, he's a lifelong vegan, and like all this stuff that's super like kind of chill and granola. Like he's super kind of hippie, but like his movies would make you think otherwise. His music would make you think otherwise, but he's this super like kind of chill dude. Um,
Because he was on Rogan once, and I liked him more after that.
yeah, yeah,
Like, he's super down to earth, super intelligent, but just
super
likes
smart,
what he
yeah.
likes. Just a
Um,
wild man and a crazy person.
Truly. So yeah, they get married. She changes her name to Sherry Moon Zombie. Um, let's see. Through all the reshoots throughout the years, they're trying to get House of a Thousand Corpses released. Struggling to try to get back. Eventually, he just has to buy his movie back from Universal. And was it Universal? Yeah, that sounds about right. And eventually they get Lionsgate to release it. So the film eventually gets released April 11th, 2003. That movie is weird. It's
Yeah.
super arty, and I mean, it's got Rainn Wilson in it, it's got Chris Hardwick in it, and it's super like, I don't know, I like it a lot, but like
Yeah.
you
This
really have to
this
be in
is
the
a
mood
series
for it.
that Daisy will not watch with me, and like there's parts of it where like I remember watching these as they came out
Hmm.
and being just absolutely in love with them, and then going back and being like baby, it's fine, let's just watch it, and getting like 20 minutes into the movie and being like, you know what, you're right, we can go watch Moana, like we don't have to watch this. And like, as much as I love them, like there are times like you have to be in the mood for that kind of
You
movie,
have to.
because like especially House of a Thousand Corpses, because it was pretty much like no holds barred, like that he was doing the movie that he wanted to, whereas I'm sure you'll talk about there's a trilogy in this.
Hmm.
But like as they went along, they were all as fucked up, but nothing was as fucked up as that first movie.
It's just, it's like this weird amalgamation where he had all these ideas that he wanted to do for a movie, and so he threw it all in there, and it makes for a real weird, like the cohesiveness of it is kind of a little all over the place. Like all of a sudden there's this Dr. Satan at the end, and it's like this super weird. And then
Yeah,
with the Firefly family is super like, what? Like there's a lot that's happening in it that's really cool, but it just seems like he's like, I've got so many ideas. Let's
throw it
you
in
know,
here.
like
Throw it in
uh,
here.
whereas number two is a bit more, like clear line sight of what he wants to do. So,
Yeah.
um, as people expected, the critics, tore it apart, saying it's too grotesque and violent. Um, but like it is like one of the best horror movies if you can kind of get through that kind of heavy stuff. It's a very interesting sort of
Yeah,
thing.
because I mean it is gruesome, it's rapey,
Yeah,
it's a real it'll touch. Like it'll
yeah,
touch you for sure.
gotta be
Got
in the
touch.
reach out and touch you. He works on the soundtrack as well, which is something that like a music guy is gonna work on the soundtrack too. Like all aspects of a movie, he's gonna be involved in. So it only makes sense. He releases his first like kind of compilation album, almost the greatest hits, in 2003 as well, September of that year. He does a voiceover in Spider-Man, the new animated series, as
Yeah.
Dr. Kirk Connors, which is super like that's the character they inform. But
Yeah.
like it's and he also does a character in the Justice League Unlimited, and I'm not even going to try to pronounce it. I think it's Cthulhu.
Cthulhu?
Yeah,
Cthulhu? Yeah.
and it's exactly what you think. It's like a space madness
Cthulhu.
creature that, yeah. Um, at this point, November 2003, he launches Spook Show International Comic Series, which is like, why not, dude? Like, you're doing everything else. Why not add your own
He gets a voice in
comic
Justice
story?
League, and he was like, you know what? I like comics too. Fuck it, I'm
Yeah,
going for it.
hey, fuck the thing. Like, I've liked comics my whole life. Why not? July 22nd, 2005 releases The Devil's Rejects. This is the sequel to House of Thousand Corpses, all a part of the Firefly family trilogy. And he also releases an album and a comics to go along with them. This one definitely a bit more restrained. Definitely has a bit more of a, like, we're going to follow this family as they escaped the ending of House of a Thousand Corpses. They show how they escape and kind of get to know the characters a bit better of, Baby and Otis and Captain Spaulding. And it's a super great movie, man. I like this one a lot. I mean, hell, I'm repping the shirt. You can't see it because it's an audio podcast,
Oh
but
yeah.
like, it's God, it's one of my favorites. This is probably my favorite of his films. Um, Releases Educated Horses, March 2006. He makes an appearance in, I think it's James Gunn's Slither movie, but only his voice. This is kind of going
Yeah.
along with,
I
like,
never watched this one.
it's interesting. It's a
Got
real wacky
Elizabeth
one.
Banks, Nathan Fillion. Huh.
It's good. Check it out for sure, because that one's actually, like, they do
Yeah, it's a
things that are,
James Gunn movie. I didn't realize that either.
yeah.
Learn something new every day. He works with James
Um,
Gunn later too. They must be good friends.
they must like
I,
each other or
I
something.
imagine that they've
Weird.
hung out. James Gunn was like, I want that dude to be my friend because
Yeah.
fuck him being my enemy.
A guy named Zombie. He's got it. You want him as your friend, that's for sure. Let's see. October, he releases like a greatest hits. 2007 releases his reimagining of John Carpenter's Halloween. Did you ever see those ones?
I did, yeah. I didn't mind them. I mean,
Yeah.
Michael Myers is one of those things where, like, I'm not a huge Mike Myers fan. Um, they're fine. They're fine for what they are, which is surprising. Like, I'm a big slasher guy, but I mean, they were fine in my opinion. Like, I thought they were good movies. People bashed on them.
Oh, people
Yeah,
people
they did
did
not
not
like
like
them.
them at all. But like, it's like at the end of the day, you still have the original to go back to if you didn't like them. But I liked it because it was like a, what if he was like totally traumatized by, like, or something's wrong with his head, and like the fact that they made him like this 7 foot tall beast where it's like he'll fuck your day up. Like,
Yeah, it's one
yeah,
of those things where it's like, do you want him to do an exact remake of, the original, or do you want him to put his own twist, which
yeah,
is, what we want. It's like, if you're gonna redo something, at least make it your own. And that's what he
exactly.
did. And again, I thought it was fine. Do I go back and watch it every year? No, I don't.
No,
But most of that is because I'm not a Michael Myers fan. But if I went back and watched a Mike Myers movie most of the time, that would be in probably the top two or three. Because
yeah.
it's a new age. I like the way that it was done. It was a good movie. I thought it was a good movie.
It breaks Labor Day box office records, and this feat has yet to be broken, which is like for a Halloween movie or for a horror movie. Sorry, is amazing. Like,
Yeah.
that's something that usually they make, they do pretty well enough to be like, all right, hey, you did all right. But he did it. He directed a fake trailer for the Grindhouse films. Do you remember those? The Robert
Yeah.
Rodriguez and Quentin Tarantino, called Werewolf Women of the SS, which was such a huge thing. People were like, we want this movie so badly.
Yeah, because that's what Death Proof and
Planet Terror.
Planet Terror. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are okay movies. I like those Grindhouse movies.
I like the idea of them a lot. Like,
I
let's
should
get
go
more of
back and
those.
rewatch them.
Yeah.
Tarantino's got some weird shit in his book.
Tarantino's is kind of an oddball.
He
in
is,
general.
yeah, weird looking dude,
Like,
funny mind. Like,
um, let's see. Releases, goes on, does a sequel. Halloween 2.
I don't think I saw the second one.
It's not quite as well received. Like the first one had some criticism, but this one even more so
They just
gets
shit
ripped
all over
apart.
it. Yeah.
And it's fine for like the sequel for what it is. They follow more on Loomis and his kind of like celebrity of it. Like, oh, I was the guy who stopped this murder spree from happening. Kind of does that. So it's a different take on it, and I like it a lot for that kind of aspect. But it's different from the Halloween that people like. So what are you gonna do? He releases Captain Clegg and the Night Creatures, which would be the first album released in 10 years on his Zombie Go-Go Records. Um, Interesting. That band was part of in the Halloween 2 movie. There's like a party scene and they were in it. So he was like, hey, you're a real band, so why not just I'll produce your first record. He goes on to produce an animated film based on his comic adventures of El Super Beasto, um, called The Haunted World of El Super Beasto. So it's like his comic book he turned into a animated film, which I don't know if you've ever seen, but it has a very like
I did not
jo-
see it.
John K. Ren and Stimpy kind of feel to it, and it's
Really?
got Tom Papa in it as the voice of Super Beasto, and a bunch of
Um,
other like people you'd
it's
know.
got Rosario Dawson and Brian Posehn in it.
Yeah, exactly. What else do you
Paul
need?
Giamatti.
Yeah, that's right.
Tom Kenny, which for anybody who doesn't know the name Tom Kenny, not only is he the voice of a lot of things that we know and love through Nickelodeon, he is most famously known for the voice of SpongeBob.
That's right. Fucking great. Fun movie. I might have to let you borrow a copy. I might let you borrow my DVD because it's a fun enough movie to like see it and be like, okay, that's weird enough, but okay.
Yeah.
Um, he releases his sequel album to Hellbilly Deluxe in 2010, called Hellbilly Deluxe 2: Noble Jackals, Penny Dreadfuls, and the Systematic Dehumanization of Cool. And this just keeps going. He loves a long title. This dude does not mess around with
No,
like
some
a
of his shit is absolutely
it's like, you could just use a
It's
word.
19. It's the titles that you give me for the podcast that you know damn well I'm not going to be able to fit in the podcast line. I have to
Yeah,
decipher something from it or just completely disregard what you've written down.
this is what it's gonna be. Um, and basically this one has a very similar vibe and attitude to Hellbilly Deluxe. It is like kind of a cool, like, if Hellbilly Deluxe is a concept album, this is the sequel to that concept album, and it really does work really well with one another. Produces his last comic called Baron von Zock and Baron von Schock in 2010. Um, he's the voice of God. Did you ever see the Rainn Wilson movie Super, where he thinks he's a superhero?
No, I didn't.
It's different. It's I don't know. It's okay.
Everything Rainn Wilson does is different.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. But Rob Zombie did the voice of God in that movie, so if you ever get a chance to check it out, it's good enough to watch once, I think. Um, and then he goes on to do something that's so out of the norm for this guy. He directs a commercial for Woolite of all things.
So like laundry.
The laundry soap.
Okay. Jesus Christ. What are
And
you doing?
it's super like, do you have scratchy clothes? Like it's super like totally like you're like, yeah, it's a fucking terrifying commercial, but it's kind of cool that it's like at the end,
Like,
use
do I need the
Woolite.
Woolite? I think I do.
I think I do. It's scary having rough clothing. I need Woolite. Um, he releases his second remix album called Mondo Sexhead in 2012, and that's just a funny name to me.
Ondo Sexhead.
Mondo Sexhead.
I'm okay with
Uh,
it.
and then here's like Sherry Moon Zombies. Like, if you want to see her acting chops, go check out Lords of Salem. It's like a modern witch telling of the Salem witch trials in a weird way. It
Really?
connects
I
to
see. I've never
that,
seen this either.
but it's super like independent feeling movie where it's slower and it's complete like departure from what you're used to of Rob Zombie as well. It's more of a quiet movie. until like the third act when shit kind of pops off. But like, I don't know, like it really does like show like she does have acting chops, and there's a reason why Zombie likes the cast and thing. And I know he probably gets a lot of shit for being like, yeah, I'm just gonna cast my wife in it. I mean, besides it being cheaper, and she's good at what she does, and this movie really does highlight the fact that she's able to,
Huh.
hold her end of things. So
This actually looks super interesting.
yeah, if you get a chance, definitely check that one out because it's fun. It's
Yeah,
different.
this I like the concept, and I don't think she's a bad actor at all, but yeah, the stuff that you see her in with like the Firefly family stuff, she can only do so much with that,
Yeah.
like yeah, this looks cool.
In the same year, April 2013, he releases Venomous Rat Regeneration Vendor. God damn it. Just continuation, doing studio albums while he's doing movies. Like, this guy's so prolific, he does not take a day off. He's constantly doing something, which you can find super commendable. If I think it's commendable that he does not stop.
It's
I
what
wish
I'm
I had
trying
that
to
kind of
get
work
in the mode to do. The problem
Yeah.
is I care about my friends and stuff, but slowly but surely, we're spending more time on other stuff. I wish I could do it, but I'm glad I don't.
Yeah, right.
Is that weird?
Yeah. Let's see. Zombie designs and launched the Great American Nightmare Haunted Attraction in 2013. The attraction is based in Chicago, features references to zombies films and other significant horror events in pop culture. He designed the attractions Lords of Salem, Total Blackout, The Haunted World of El Super Beasto 3D, and House of a Thousand Corpses, which were combined with a musical festival from artists in hard rock, alternative, EDM, and more in 2013. And that's kind of an ongoing thing. This dude, like, haunted attractions, comic books, films, like,
Yeah, he kind of dabbles in anything that his love of the horror genre can dabble in.
yeah.
Like,
And
he's just like, oh,
yeah,
horror can be a part of that. I want to be a part of that.
word, do it. His
Yeah.
connection with James Gunn comes back, like you said. He does the voice of the Ravager Navigator in the Guardians of the Galaxy movies, which is
Which is,
crazy because you're like, wait, Rob Zombie's in a Disney movie, a Marvel movie?
yeah,
What?
comic book guy.
Yeah, like he's doing it with
Oh,
you know
motherfucking Star Lord.
being there with Star Lord. Um, he releases his first video album, a collection of all his music videos that he's been doing since More Human Than Human, uh, 2014. Releases his second live album February 2015. Releases his studio album Electric Warlock. Oh, I didn't. Oh, Electric Warhawk gets released January 2016, and then he crowdfunds a movie, which was an interesting play for him because I think before he would just have people produce, or he'd get money from a studio to help produce it. But this one he wanted to create and have control, and so he thought he'd reach out to his fans, and he crowdfunded the movie 31.
Yeah, this seems cool too. I was kind of looking at this one a little earlier. And
And
go ahead.
it's a super survive a night in a carnival, like super straightforward, like, here's your goal, kids, can you do it?
Yeah,
And
they
it's
said it's
brutal.
a little Devil's Rejectsy. The concept seems dope, and it kind of comes back full circle with the carnival shit, where he's like, "This is probably what traumatized me enough to enjoy the horror genre, or desensitize myself to it, and kind of follows that same line and does it himself." I think that's cool.
It's just weird enough. It's a strange one that, super gory, super over the top, what you'd expect from him. His sixth studio album gets released in April 2016, Acid Witch, Satanic Orgy Celebration Dispenser. These names are ridiculous.
Yeah, my tongue hurts watching you say them.
He's just throwing darts at a dictionary at this point. Let's see. He finally finishes off the Firefly trilogy with the release from Three from Hell, which they were actually able to finish just before Sid Haig passed away, who was Captain Spaulding, which was
it sucks that it took 14 years to get that last one, because especially like Three from Hell was good, but it was not on par with the first two, and I think it's because of all the work that he did. Not to say that it wasn't a good movie, it was a fine movie or whatever, but like if we'd have got that trilogy in like 2009,
Yeah.
versus 29 or 20, 2019, right? Yeah.
It almost feels like they were like, okay, everybody's getting a little older. Sid Haig isn't
He
in the
was,
best.
yeah, he was
Like
in bad
it
shape.
just felt a little rushed to kind of end the trilogy the way they did. But what are you gonna do?
We got the trilogy. So,
Yeah, we got the trilogy. And this kind of leads into his released an album this year, March of this year, called the Lunar Injection Kool-Aid Eclipse Conspiracy. Because why the fuck not? And all these albums are like super experimental. None of these albums, like except for the Hellbilly Deluxe ones, sound like the previous one. Like he's super willing to experiment with his sound. Like he doesn't stick to like I'm AC/DC of the metal world. No, he's like I'm gonna do weird shit, and he likes bringing in
yeah.
clips from horror movies and does interesting things. He also was gonna make his own pinball machine, which is super bummer that he didn't. Like, because it was gonna have like, could you imagine a zombie pinball machine? Like,
I'm surprised like Stern or Williams or something like didn't jump on that.
yeah,
Like,
right?
especially for the horror fan, like that's a pretty big like intertwining genres. Like
Yeah,
you meet a lot of pinball guys that are like old school horror guys, especially. Like, why wouldn't you want Rob Zombie next to your Adams Family machine?
exactly. Yeah. Throw it in between Twilight and Addams Family. You got through Rob Zombie pinball machine. Perfect. But we're going to end on this. This is what we touched on or kind of alluded to earlier. Rob Zombie is going to be helming the Munsters reboot, which is
Yeah,
kind of fucking
apparently,
cool.
like a not so secret diehard Munsters fan.
Yeah, which is it's right there on Front Street, like Dragula. Like it's super like I've been a fan of this and I've wanted to do this forever, and it's like cool. Yeah, yeah, we want this.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think we've even talked about this in the past. Like, I would be an Adams Family person, not a Munsters person.
Yeah,
But if you don't think that I'm gonna watch the Munsters and maybe go watch some of the old Munsters because Rob Zombie's doing an adaptation of it, you'd be wrong. Because I'm gonna watch it.
yeah,
I
for
gotta see what the
sure.
fuss is about, especially because it's a for him, I imagine it being a passion project. Like he's for sure just getting into it because he's like, no, 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 I'll do it, I'll do it, I'll do it. Fuck that guy, I'll do it. So like,
I
I'm good
got
with
you.
that. Like I'm good with that.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
between like
have they released any information on it as far as like release or
uh I mean, we're still in such early like I mean, it just got released that he's helming it, so I imagine he's probably
gotta be
working on
2023?
casting and yeah, I mean, I don't imagine that it'll be super effects heavy, so I don't know if there'll be a lot of like
I
post
don't know. He
production
could
like
go super hard
CG
on the makeup.
No, that's one thing, but that's stuff you can do while filming that won't take away. So maybe fingers crossed Halloween 2022 is what I'm shooting for this because
Halloween of 2020.
that's seems perfect.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's probably you're probably close on that. To
I'm just
start filming.
interested.
Is it a movie?
It's going to be a movie.
Okay.
Yeah. And it'll be
That's probably
interesting to
better.
see kind of what he does. Yeah.
I wonder if he does it in black and white.
Ooh.
It would not surprise me.
Black and white and then does the color transition at some point.
Yeah, you're right though. This guy he was like, "Hey, I'm going to do some cool shit," and then just continued to do his own shit.
Yeah.
Never got in
does
trouble. Didn't divorce his longtime girlfriend. Like they've just been doing their thing, dude.
just
Since when I
he
was
does
5.
he does all of like whatever he wants to do, he does, like and he's a super like seeing his artwork is super cool. Like, I don't know, the dude like is super like I don't know, just looking up he's an inspiration because he's like he just goes and does it. He's like, oh, I want to make a movie. So he
Yeah,
goes and does it. And then
yeah. You're
me,
100%
me
right. He is an inspiration because he just is just like, yeah, I'm just gonna do my own thing, and if it works, it works. And if people like it, awesome.
yeah,
He's never
and he's
changed really.
I mean, he's just seems like the most laid back, chilled, vegan, straight edge guy that you could meet. But like, he creates this stuff that's so spooky and like I don't know. It's so Rob Zombie is such like his own unique thing that it's like when you listen to a song, you see one of his movies, you're like, okay, yeah, this has got the Rob Zombie stamp on it for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
Which we
crazy.
wouldn't
Who would
want
have thought that
anyway.
Rob Zombie would have become such an inspiration? Especially in work ethic and artistry.
Yeah, but I mean, that's how you become successful, I guess. You just keep grinding away at the projects you like, and hopefully the stuff you're doing for yourself, people like too. Wink, wink. We're doing it. We're doing it.
Fucking nerd.
But yeah, that's all I got. Like one little tidbit, he released on his Instagram this little video of him and the original Eddie Munster from the Munsters. Yeah, that makes sense. And they're actually writing in the Dragula that he owns.
That's
So,
cool.
yeah, it's just like fuck yeah, dude. Make him a grandpa or something in that movie. If there's some original cast,
Yeah, it's like, come on
why
back.
not? You can't play little Eddie because you're like 80 years too old. But like, I don't know. It's fun.
That's exciting. I'll be curious to hear more about that too.
For sure.
Well, sweet. Let's wrap this thing up.
Yeah.
Well, look, we're gonna reiterate. We're gonna pimp a couple of our things out here. We're working on some stuff behind the scenes right now for the podcast and just the Retronomipod in general. So keep an eye out for some of those things. But for right now, you guys can go check out the YouTube channel. Subscribe, like the videos. We have a new Retro Nom Nom out, which is, I'll let you say it because I'm gonna fuck it up.
Oh fuck. The Pirates of the Caribbean Jerk Chicken, The Curse of the Black Beans and Rice.
Yes.
Da-da-da-da.
There is a special sea shanty song in there. So definitely go check that out. You guys are gonna start getting new Retro Nom Nom videos every Tuesday, I believe.
We're shooting for Tuesdays. Yeah, Tasty Tuesday.
Whether that be one of Rick's cooking shows, one of the reviews, which we do have a review coming up here soon. And more stuff. Go check out the YouTube. There's an E3 recap. There's probably going to be some Dark Alliance gameplay coming up here very soon. But yeah, with all that being said, as always, you can find me at Retronomipod across the board. Instagram, Facebook, Twitch. I feel like I'm missing something, and I'm sure it'll come up later. But yeah, where they find you, brother?
Serial Kilter on most of the socials. As always, go to the Facebook page because that's kind of our one-stop shop for being as up to date as we can be with the information and stuff. Definitely check out the YouTube. We're having a lot of fun making these videos for everybody. It's kind of our next evolution. We've done the audio, now we got the video. So definitely go like, subscribe, follow at wherever you listen to it, wherever you watch stuff. Definitely do that. Leave comments. If you have any questions, you can email us at retronomiconpodcast@gmail.com.
Yeah, we might be changing that here soon, so we're not gonna too crazy. The best thing to do would be to DM us on Instagram or through the Facebook group, or Serial Kilter. That's probably the better way to do it. Or ask an awesome question after you leave a 5-star review on iTunes. That'd work for us too. But again, we're working on a lot of stuff behind the scenes here. We're trying to get not only more content, but better content out as we kind of build this Retronomipod brand. So we'll see what happens. Other than that,
I'll take us out like we always do with the weird question of the week. Would a vegan survive easier in a zombie apocalypse?
Can I answer this one right now?
No, you gotta wait.
God damn it. As always, we appreciate you guys stopping by and listening to this week's episode of the Retronomipod. We love you, and we will catch you next week.
Good night.